Well, hello! You guys can ignore the fact that the little intro thing splashed back up there for a second. It's good to see you guys. Day 5 of 5 for Lord of the Rings. Sorry. Went to go close the door there. And yeah, I hope we're all doing good. Hope everyone's been enjoying themselves. And we'll see whether we can unlock monster playing stuff today. Should be pretty good. Probably should have turned the music down a little bit more. Maybe WP fell asleep in bag end. Certainly not. Yeah, we are. We're going on an adventure with Tay 2. Let's get him to level 10 if we can. Now, I don't know if our minstrels and our bards hanging around are still with us, but it'd be kind of cool if they led me to a place where I could get some XP. Sounds like I'm doing a really terrible quest chain as well. Sounds like the quest that we're trying is not the main deal of the experience. But we'll see. So, Mitchell delving, darkness, fireflies in the sky, a calm over the Shire. Cato's already here. Good job. Amazing. And let's see. If I type L, do I get my quest logs? Epic, Volume 1 Prologue. That's an epic quest, is it, to deal with her? I don't know. I kind of want to do this. Look, the Ballad of Bingo Boffin. It looks like you've got, like, region quests. That's these. Epic is, like, the main storyline, I think people were saying. And then you got the Ballad of Bingo Boffin appears to be an extra thing. We get bingo badges. And we get a title. Do we want... I kind of want to finish this thing, but, I mean, we got limited time. I want to do the main story. I want to explore more of the Shire. I want to finish his thing, and I want to try out the monster play thing. It's too much, really. We'll see. Let's get on a horse. I'm learning a little bit more as we go. So, let's see. So, in review, the 5 days idea. The point was to maybe like get a reviewy or video essay kind of thing out. And I could definitely do something that was, you know, a first impressions. I'm not sure I could do anything that was much more than that, or claiming to be much more than that. I think that would be a bit foolish. Well, hold on. All right, Ned. Can I just talk to you?
Speak with you a moment?
Is this a new quest? Yeah, while your wife was out, blah, 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 you've got a problem. I'm going to leave you, and we'll go this way. So, yeah, we'll figure out whether we do, like, a reviewy type thing or what, whether we could get any content out of this. But it's been fun, really, learning about it, experiencing it. It's been pretty cool just taking you guys on for the ride as well, you know. Normally, if I was going to do something like this, it would be just being in silence and quiet on my own. And, yeah, it's been pretty good, honestly, so I'm pretty happy. When you interact with the new Teapot in Heart of the Mist, it gives you a stack of might. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Well, no, you were talking about that yesterday. Yeah, how's the PvP balance going for people as well at the moment? As someone who's restrained himself, I still am not entirely sure. I want to get rid of my dismount button here as well. Can I move it? Yeah. Let's put that up there. Oh, he's got a name. I didn't even realise. That was on screen last stream, was it? Surly Dan. That is fantastic. How big is this MMO? I would say it's really, really, really big. I mean, maybe it's just because I got that noob level beguilement about me, but it feels quite vast. Everything's really tanky. Well, that's all right as long as you have to, like, you know, coordinate hits with one another to take people out. Lots of Condi as well. Well, there you have it. All right, so Tuckborough. And we're going to go back into the Great Smiles, I think, is what they said. I like how I can attempt to go in with a horse. Pretty nice. Not you, though, I don't think.
Oh, woe is me.
Oh, dear, you are here for the Founding Writ. Please don't let Paladin know, but I don't have it. A local farmer, Belko Brockhouse, has it, and he won't give it up. His home is north of here, up the hill and on the right of the path, and he says he won't give up the writ until he gets a hand with his crops. Honestly, at my age, I can't help with farm labour. I'm sorry to say that if you want the writ, you'll have to speak to him and perhaps lend a hand. The cheek of some hobbits. I like this. People call this busy work, but I like this. You know, you've got the Shire as a gameplay space that is meant to be mostly peaceful. The fact is going to be that there's a lot of running around and there's a lot of like fetch questy kind of stuff. But I don't know. I feel like they got a really bad name, but it actually builds to a certain idea of what it is hobbits would ask other hobbits to do. I kind of like it. Anyway, that is actually not what I thought it was. Is it Provincia that you need to talk to? No, you want my help. I don't understand. Oh, I'll tell you why. I guess it's because I don't have him marked anymore. Yeah, I don't. Click to open the log. Yeah, well, we're focused on it now. I don't even think it was in here. The land of peace is most to be mentally shireful. Mentally? Yeah, no, I agree. Training for the journey. There it is. Yeah, we were going to climb the tower with the guy. That's what we were going to do. It's going to be fantastic. You've been playing a dwarf alongside me, and there's a lot more fighting and exploring mines and dungeons. That's awesome. That is very, very, very cool. Immediately. I mean, that makes sense. I wonder if the quests that Shirelings do give more experience to compensate for the fact that there's less combat going on in the area. I wonder. The contrast is really visible in the 2v2 test to the 2v2 mini season in terms of combat time. Interesting. Well, I think it should be a bit slower, and I've always felt it should be a little bit slower. A stinging gnat swarm. That's cool. Is this the last day of LOTRO and then you won't play it again? Probably, yeah. Probably. I mean, maybe I'll come back. I'm not going to delete the account or anything. But I don't really have any plans to. Perhaps when the new Lord of the Rings MMO initiative gets more news, we can have other LOTRO weeks. What I'm thinking right now is that I'll go back to Master on the weekend, and then on Monday, probably just do a week of Master full on again. And then we'll see if there's some other other MMO-y thing I can maybe do. It all depends how inspired by this I am to actually get a video out about it, which I'd love to do, but you just never know. So by the way, you know how I have Surly Dan and he's rented? When I lose his rental, which should be pretty soon actually, right? It expires in half an hour. Were I to get another rental horse, would that guy have the same name or no? Do you think he'd be a new horse? You've noticed a lot more people using combos in PvP. Not sure if it's New Balance or the Boots video. I think as much as I love Boots in the video he made there. Oh, we've lagged out. Really? As much as I love Boots in the video he made. Oh, there we go. We're back. I think it's probably just that you've got the time to do it now a little bit more, and you're more reliant on it. Maybe. It's also possibly that people were doing it a lot before, but, you know, just not really being impacted by it. Have I tried this? Have I liked the game? I have liked the game. The game is a mixed bag. It's a lot like the Black Desert Online thing, where it's like, okay, what is your tolerance level for putting up with crap in order to get to the good stuff? And BDO was like the most strong version of that I've ever experienced, but this is a little bit like that too, I would say. You don't get another rental. When the whistle expires, you get a quest to buy one, which then leads you to the cash shop, etc. That makes sense. Obviously, I was assuming I could buy one later, but I didn't realize I'd be forced into it. I guess it makes sense. It's actually very clever in that way. People get used to having a mount and then lose it, and they really, really want to work on getting the next one. Here you go. Here's bingo. So we'll spend whatever we can, and it's a nice little thing about this as well, is it encourages you to play a shit ton early on, and that'll get you hooked early on. I'm going to stop clicking the whistle and just click dismount instead. Nice. Right, so is this an actual jumping puzzle? Are you serious? You want me to jump on these? Oh, wow. Mad props to LOTRO for doing this. There you go. Huff.
This was a bad idea.
Oh, he's too I was going to do the breathiness, but now he's too breathy, and I wouldn't be able to keep that up for a whole paragraph. Bingo's face is beet red, and he's doubled over with exhaustion. I say, who knew this tower was so tall? I'm not going to go any higher. I know a better way. Meet me in the Golden Perch. Tatu, it's back in the town of Stock. All right. You're not going to climb all the way up? What are you talking about? That was the jumping puzzle, was it? Was that it? I want to go up. We will go up, right? Eventually. Oh, God. Right. Oh, man. I like our traveling companions. Hello, Captain. It's good to see you. Would I say the strongest part of this game is the roleplay element? It kind of depends on how broad your perspective of what the roleplay element is, really. I think that... as far as its settings concerned, yes. And as far as its feature base is concerned, yes. It's a pretty good role-playing game, for sure. I don't know to what extent active community and, like, type of community and all that kind of stuff, like, rolls in the end. Or, like, developer endorsement, like, modifies that. I think it does, personally. And I don't know those details. What was that somebody wanted to trade? But overall, yeah, I think it is definitely one of the stronger elements of the game. It's a Golden Shire Tater. It requires level 45. Fucking hell. The finest Hobbit-grown produce around. I haven't been checking the levels of our, the random NPCs in there. And there's just a regular Tater for level 15 there as well. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So he wants us to go where now? In the Golden Perch Inn in the town of Stock. Is that in Breeland? No, I don't think so. It's interesting. This map has shifted the Shire over a lot more than what I remembered it to be. Or thought it was. It's kind of weird. I guess it all makes sense. I'll just go this way, I guess. There you go, training for the journey. Nice, the sun's coming up too. It feels like right around when we start streaming, the day and night is transitioning, which is pretty good. Pretty entertaining. Dude, I need to stop doing that. Hey, Dalgrim, subbed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, Dalgrim. I really appreciate that, man. It's Farmer Maggot. You've been in Farmer Maggot's stock again. The Bounders haven't been able to keep up the peace as well as they used to, no offense intended. So we've organised our own little group. We call it, well, the Vigilance Committee. A few of us have been looking into strange doings, like that Black Rider that's been seen about, and other outsiders who have come to the Shire lately. The thing is, one of our members has gone missing. Violet Underhill was looking into... Oh, dear. Was going to look into some reports of strangers to the south of the Marish, but she hasn't come back, and I'm getting really worried. I wonder if you can go down there and look for her. It may be that Farmer Maggot's seen her. He knows what's around there. His farm, Bafumlong, or south down the river in the Marish. This is interesting. I bet she got kidnapped because, you know, Frodo took the name Underhill, and the riders are going for her. That's kind of interesting. I'm not going to do the quest, though, because we're in the middle of our own adventure. Does the MMO make me excited for the release of the Amazon game? I love all the questions, Ty, by the way. Yeah, I think it does. To be honest, it really does. It's like we were talking about yesterday, the idea that something a little bit more contemporary, you know, that can be rendered with a bit more flourish, that can have like a cleaner sense of what it's doing, what its feature base is, how its UI functions, that really feels like a big phenomenon that a lot of people are getting involved in. I think all those things could be huge, really. He's sitting down having a drink. What? Is that his adventure?
Build up these arm muscles, lifting a mug of ale to my lips.
I already feel much more prepared for my journey. So, we've got a little advice about adventuring. I purchased some of the supplies I'll need, and I've done a little exercise to get in shape for the journey. There's just one more area in which I need to train, but we'll get to that in a little while. Next week, sink or swim. Recommended level 10. Oh, sorry. And I guess I will become Tato the Unprepared, which is very much how I feel.
There is nothing for it. I must learn to swim.
I have knowledge, supplies, and strength, Tato, and they will serve me well on my adventure journey. But there is one more thing I must muster before my adventure begins, and it is not something that comes naturally to hobbits. I must learn to swim. They can't swim, really? I mean, there's that scene in The Fellowship, that very sweet, touching scene with Frodo and Sam. Which, by the way, was a pickup. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you listen to the director's commentary about the Lord of the Rings, you can hear Fran and Peter talking about how they just took a random line almost from that Sam said earlier about making the promise. No, I don't mean to. I don't mean to. That was all kind of added later because they felt they needed a little bit more. And it was probably one of the biggest beats of the whole movie, to be honest. It's really interesting. I like listening to those director commentaries because I'm very much like the kind of person that feels, all right, when you've got an idea, don't allow it to be muddied or tampered with too much because, you know, it will lose its spirit and, you know, what it was really aiming for. You got to be careful. That's kind of my perspective on all of things. But, you know, I'm probably very wrong about that. And it's a great story to hear because it kind of does explain, you know, sometimes if you change and you tweak, it can come out really, really, really well. And you hear, there's a few examples of that in Lord of the Rings where it's like, holy fuck, they never planned to do that at all. Like, this whole idea, they were going to do it, and it would have bombed if they did it that way. But they changed their mind at the last moment, and it was a good move to change their mind. They have a ton of things like that, where you listen, and they're like, yeah, we were going to do this, but, like, years later sometimes, we were like, yeah, we'll change that now. And then it ends up like this big thing. So it is interesting. You got to be malleable. Anyway, have you seen a number of rivers on this map? Whoever drew this map must have been quite fond of the things because there are squiggly lines and little ponds all over the place. There's nothing for it, Tatu. We must become a master of the waterways. Speak to me when you're ready and we'll go down to the Brandywine and practice. So I can either become the buoyant or the sinking stone this time. I don't know whether we should keep doing his quest. I mean, he's cool and everything, but geez. Oh, what about cutscenes and main storyline?
I am as ready as I will ever be.
Oh, we're learning. We're going to practice being fish. Oh, it is an instance. Okay, never mind. All right, here we go.
Leo has decided to master one final skill for his journey. He will learn to swim.
This is his final skill. Well, here we are, Tatu. Time for the Hobbit to learn a new skill. Oh my god, these like what is this instrument? Flute of some kind? Your favorite part of this site is the interactivity plus you're a very curious person in general who asks questions most of the time. Thanks for appreciating it. Yeah, I mean, well, you keep chat going when other people aren't. Hey, Dusty, it's good to see you, by the way. Can't catch these. The more light there is outside, the less time you have. Yeah, I'm stealing your light up in the Northern Hemisphere now. It's not even dark yet. I mean, I have the light on, but there is a bit of light. It's not even dark, and it's almost 5:30. Suck it. Has the Brandywine always looked this wide? I like that, because there is a thing, you know, when you swim, you move a lot slower. I know that sounds very obvious. Does that look cold? Does that look cold to you? But, like, if you go to the beach and you want to swim out to an island or something, you know, that doesn't look far away. Trust me, they're very far away a lot of the time. You got to be, like, very, very confident and very strong swimmer. There's that thing people do in the UK of swim in the channel, like, and that is seriously fucking awesome, to be honest. I think a lot of people don't appreciate how insanely cool that is to pull off. It occurs to me that I may have made a slight error in judgment, Tatu, and I have perhaps not dressed entirely appropriately for the cold, frigid waters. Bingo, shivers. What do you think? Do you think perhaps I just need to warm myself up, possibly get the blood flowing? That's a capital idea, my intelligent hobbit friend. I'm only just beginning to realise what a silent narrator I am. Okay. I was wrong, I'm not ready. Tatu, I need you. I'm a bit warmer. But the water still looks cold, and now I just feel tired. You think maybe this is just a bad spot? Oh, look. They're not doing the Guild Wars mistake where the dialogue closes because he got far away. You think maybe this is just a bad spot? Maybe I should try another place on the bank? Good idea. This is nice because it'll actually walk around as well. Another we're in an instance. Okay. I don't know, he says. I like all the bystanders. Daily Pella, 1 out of 6. What's Pella? What's the Daily Pella, guys? Any Lord of the Rings Online players want to fill me in on that? Daily Pella, 1 out of 6. Yes, that might do it. I will watch you swim, my adventuring friend. What if I swam first as a demonstration? Sorry, some lady said. This is extremely cute. Hobbit people that don't know how to swim. I love that Maveda is just casually swimming around. Alright, well, hold on. Am I meant to do something? Oh, sorry. If someone swam across first, that's me. I thought it was going to be an NPC that did it. It's just swim to the other side of the river. I see. It's dark here. Is it really? It's dark for you already, right now? Well, no, that makes sense. Because we're not exactly 12 hours apart. Can't remember the time I was swimming anywhere. It must have been at least 3 years. Yeah, I don't swim as much anymore as I used to. It used to be one of my favorite things. Return to bingo and see if your demonstration helped. So you're a bounder now. That's good. Ooh, okay, never mind. So they want me to swim back. Yeah, I've just been casually swimming around without even thinking. Do you enjoy or feel creeped out by the deeper and more personal is your favorite types of chips still questions? I watch a lot of your older streams and I find the occasional personal story and you want to know more. No, I don't get creeped out at all. I really like it. I think it's very cool. As long as it's not like, you know, docs heavy or whatever. I think it's cool. It's nice to see stuff like that because, you know, my greatest neurosis is the idea that everything I do is just pointless and wasteful and, like, nothing goes in and nothing is retained and nothing of value is kept and it's all just fading to dust and mist and wind, right? Like, that I hate that. So if someone says to me in, like, 5 years, hey, remember when you were swimming in Lord of the Rings Online? Like, that would make me happy. You know, I'd be like, wow, that actually had an impact on someone 5 years down the road. No matter how arbitrary. I don't care how arbitrary it is, just as long as it is. That was incredible, my friend. You can do it. I certainly think I can do it as well. Here I go. Are we going to get him drowned? How funny would that be, honestly? I'm swimming. I'm swimming. This is hilarious. Dude, that was pathetic. What is wrong with you? I did it, Tatu. Did you see me swim? Your feet was pretty good, but I'm afraid my own may have shown you off some... All right now. All right. Chill out. Now, that was a true display of my swimming prowess, wouldn't you say? Sure. That was it. That was the whole thing, was it? I am drenched, but I'm happy, my friend. Let us return to the Golden Perch and dry off. Okay. So we go back to the pub now. It's ridiculous. He's done nothing, really. He's climbed like a post. He's splashed in some water. He's had 2 drinks, 2 meals.
I think that went fairly well, but let's avoid rivers anyway.
Ooh, look at that. They did not produce much content this week. No one would have been happy with that one. I can tell you that. I think that went fairly well, Tatu. You might not have had to even look at it, but I say I mastered the art of swimming remarkably well. Bingo seems to be looking everywhere, but at your face. Just for fun, though, I think I'll avoid rivers while on my journey. Dry land makes for a more interesting trip, I'd say. And it would be a shame to just take the easy way and float across every river that squiggles its way across my path. You understand, I'm sure. Fantastic. Okay, I will be the buoyant.
Let us return to my hobbit hole in Mickle Delving.
It is Mickle. I've been saying Mitchell this whole time. It's Mickle. What this led to me to think about is the comparison of this as a Living World equivalent, and it's kind of funny, you know. People don't appreciate this about MMOs whatsoever. I tried to explain it in my World of Warcraft review, but based on what you build for expectations in your audience and the kind of content they have always been swallowing, you can be really lazy and everyone will be super happy, or you can work your arse off and people will hate you. And so, like, if you think about a living world release every 2 weeks, let's look at the Season 2 format. We're playing Season 2 on the channel right now. Every 2 weeks, they add, like, a new map or area with just one dynamic event. That's the equivalent of what they've done here in Lord of the Rings Online. Just the one dynamic event. Just one. And you think about how much more gargantuan ArenaNet's work had been. Obviously, I'm comparing Guild Wars 2 to something much older, obviously. But anyway, my point is that I could quite imagine people being very satisfied with what these guys did with one little quest like that, where you walk from A to B to C to A to C to B, and then there you go, you're done. That's the same. That counts as much as, you know, the initial dry top release, does it? It's interesting, isn't it? At some point, you have to know when it's safe to tune out the whining that there's not enough content, right? Because it will always exist, okay? You will never get rid of all of it. There will always be someone who got zero value out of their experience because they are obsessed with their own efficiency, and they got it done in moments, and now they're on your forums complaining, even though they're 90% of it they haven't seen or appreciated. They're complaining, right? You will always have that. But the game is to, like, know what proportion of that is still ignorable, and it's tricky. Oh, my fellowship started an encounter instance. I want to go in there. Anyway, I feel well prepared for the journey now, Tay2. I am ready for anything. I just need to pack up the belongings I need and put a few things in order before I depart. Will you help me with these final preparations? It saddens me to leave the Golden Perch and her fine ale behind, but that is the life of an adventurer, is it not? Let's return to my hobbit hole in Mickle Delving. See, the other thing is, with the Guild Wars 2 situation versus the LOTRO situation in traditional MMOs, the fundamental difference between Guild Wars... This I didn't really mention in my WoW review, because this is a Guild Wars 2 topic. It is a Guild Wars 1 topic as well, to be honest. But the fundamental difference is in these games... They're so laden with grind that you always have a primary objective when you're logging in, and that would be to gain more levels, get more raid gear, defeat raid instances, whatever, right? Like, there's always the next carrot on the stick is always dangling in front of you. You're never left purely reliant on the new initiatives of the devs. In traditional MMOs, you're never reliant on the new shit, and only the new shit to have things to do. But in Guild Wars, because ArenaNet is so like, oh, have everything, go quick, 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 have it, enjoy it, no grind, no grind. Because they do that, a huge proportion of the audience in that game is reliant on the new stuff and will only log in when a new Living World map comes out. And I'm talking about even, you know, now, you know, even right here in Icebrood Saga. That's a very, very, very big difference between these kinds of games, which allows these kinds of games to have their new updates be much, much more threadbare. And there'll be no consequence. People won't mind because they'll finish the threadbare thing and they think, right, cool, I've logged in. I've experienced something totally new. Now, what was my other thing I wanted to do? Oh, yeah, it was this. And they go do it, you know. So, you know, that is something that in what is now many years, ArenaNet has never been able to figure out, you know. They want to sell you this fantasy of not having the carrot on the stick. But then how do you actually deal with this problem that I'm now talking about? Because what it will do is this problem will toxify your community and make people convince one another that there's nothing going on with the game. And your devs have to, like, slave away. Dude, he's not going to try and cross that at some point, is he? And won't be appreciated. That's what I think anyway. You're off to a midterm exam. You really enjoyed these streams. It's a nice change of pace. Also looking forward to the return to Master. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Ty. It's been great, man. Thanks very much for the company. And good luck on your midterms. Really. Swimming's the best exercise. It makes you use almost every muscle. My father used to swim all the time when he did horse racing. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about IRL stuff too much, but it's very good as people get old as well. If you get, like, joint issues and stuff like that, it's an excellent exercise for that because it's very, very low strain on your joints. You know, if you've worn all your cartilage away because you've been out. Whoa! He can dismount me. He's a brigand knave. Isn't that? Couldn't he just be a brigand or just a knave? He's actually both. Oh, look, he's been feared. Down you go. So I got the breeds. Oh, we're back at the start. This is it. This is where the game began. Whoa, what a mind blow. We're here. I can't believe it. We actually start in Green Hill Country as well. The door on the right's open now. Whoa, there's a ton of people here. Whoa, did I just get a donation? A $20 donation? Are you serious? Hold on. Let me look at that. Oh god, we're being attacked in the meantime. Sorry about the combat volume. I know it's loud. Do you know another thing my perfect MMO would have, guys? Adequately implemented audio sliders that separate ambient effects from ambient audio from combat effects, right? They're three different things. Ambient audio is like, whoo, the wind whistling through the trees, the sound of leaves, shit like that. Ambient effects is stuff like footsteps or picking up loot or opening and closing gates and things like that. Combat effects is swinging weapons and striking against people and screaming loudly and magic and all that kind of shit, all right? All three equals good immersion. Somebody did. Anonymous. Hey, WP, really enjoying your coverage of Arena. After the Lord of the Rings online streams, will you continue doing them? After the streams, will you be continuing them? Returning to Master from a Time or streaming a different game MMO? Thank you. Wow, $20 is... Oh, it's £20, actually. Holy shit. That's really, really awesome of you. Can I just say... So, basically, what I want to do is I want to go to... Master for the weekend, and probably next week will be all Guild Wars 2. And if we have a cool idea for another MMO to maybe play, then maybe I'll do it. What's happened right now is my plan is getting really thrown through a loop, because at this point, I actually wanted to have already done a full batch of Arena stuff and a full batch of Guild Wars 2 LP stuff for March, and I've done none of it yet. So I've got a bunch of other little videos. Basically, once the Let's Play stuff starts trickling out, I'll put those up as I do the new LP batches, and then we'll go on. And then once those are out, you guys might be interested in seeing me do other MMOs and things, and so we'll see. My plan was actually to do a YouTube video announcing these as well. I didn't in the end. Anyway, I'm going to kill some guys at Odo's Leaf Farm, Old Odo's Leaf Farm, because if I do this, we can level up and see the monster thingy. Maybe you can implement a system of sort of property rights in an MMO game. Allow people to acquire property, purchase, build, sell, build, improve. Would need to keep a close eye on. There's been a lot of MMOs that have tried stuff like that. And again, I think that the format of MMO that can do it best is side-scrolling MMOs. Where you can essentially spawn new lanes that are like stacked on top of one another, essentially like new instances. You can think of them as like extra neighborhoods running along behind the existing ones infinitely. And you'll have all the real estate you'd ever want, all the land you'd ever want, but it would still be equidistant to whatever city or town or whatever it's meant to be in. So all the players, even if you had millions of players, they could all have property in these places without having to pay like inordinate taxes and stuff like that. But you have like a real place that you live and things like that. I think that could work very well. In 3D games, you run into a lot more problems. There's also like the matter of collision and stuff, which you can be really sneaky about in 2D games. For example, I have built a market stall that I'm selling goods out of while I'm offline. Well, that doesn't need to have any collision, and it doesn't need to feel weird that it doesn't have any collision either, because it's in like the background while I'm walking on the foreground plane, you know, stuff like that. So I think it's very possible, and a lot of games have tried it. I've never played one, though. I have to be honest about that. I've never played an MMO that did property stuff well. Dude, I'm dying. Nice. Let me go back to the dissonant stance. So is my XP dropping when I've got party members, or is it staying the same, or like, how's that even working here? You can own houses in Tibia. Yeah, there's loads of games that you can own houses. You guys could talk to me about what those are like, what those experiences are like. I don't have much experience. I looked at that wagon there, and I thought it was a giant Tonberry for a second while it was obscured by the UI. Something about its colours, the gold and the type of green, just felt like some kind of Tonberry. Have I begun the housing part of Lord of the Rings? No, I haven't. I'm only level 9 almost. In like 1 kill, I'll be level 9. So there's a huge amount of this game that I've just not seen. You own 2 houses. Feels pretty good. Dosty, you are a very curious mix of extremely wealthy to me and well off. And well, I don't know what else. This is just how you strike me. A horse owner with multiple properties. Auto run. Having a hard time running and chatting at the same time. Don't worry, I learned about that one a long time ago, game. Thanks for the tip as we leveled, though. So, this game doesn't let me stack attributes or anything as I level. It doesn't give me meaningful upgrade things each time. I don't like that. I like to be able to spend a thing or make a decision every time I level. Every time. Games you played with housing are always loading and segregated off from the main part of the game with another system to load into the other people's houses. Yeah, right. Like, this doesn't really like qualify. I mean, it's just an instance. You could talk about it in any game. But like, I'm playing Monster Hunter World lately, and you know, you get a home there, you get a room, they actually call it, and the home has, you know, whatever number of instanced off gates where, oh, can I visit other people's homes? I need an option for that, and I can only see mine and decorate mine under this certain circumstance and stuff. The idea of actually owning real estate, right? Actually having property that you exist in that is physically there is rare. I'll tell you what, Guild Wars 1 kind of did it. And I've always liked this idea. And, you know, if you look at New World, some of what it's trying to do with its companies and, like, its world versus world style stuff is similar. But Guild Wars 1 was, it wasn't individuals, but alliances could genuinely own outposts. And if you were in the alliance, you were allowed into exclusive areas of the outpost that no one else could, with, like, discounted merchants and stuff. What that is not themed as such, but could easily have been themed to just be a house, you know. If those exclusive areas were just houses behind doors that you went inside, that's exactly the system it would have been. The only thing is that in Guild Wars 1 there weren't really any interiors at all, so they didn't do that. But, you know, they were like little courtyards and stuff you can otherwise go to. Press J to use my trade points. Oh, yeah, we do have a thing. I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings Online. So I have one trait. Sorry, trait tree 1, trait tree 2. Change trait configurations. Oh, a trait tree is like a new loadout, right? Like a new build, basically. Anthem of Composure. I have 2 points. Right. This is so World of Warcrafty. This is so fucking copy-pasted. It's like exactly copy-pasted. Inspire fellows, costs less power, heals more morale, briefly reduces incoming damage. Earns the skill Anthem of Composure. Anthem of Composure increases resistances and tactical mitigation. What's the difference between a resistance and a tactical mitigation? Extra resistance rating. Alters Coda. Coda applies a short-term power over time restoring effect. Or shield focus. Gain a defensive skill. Shield focus. Gain block chance at the cost of movement speed while it is active. It's a toggle. Minus 30% run speed, but 2.5% block chance? Is this a game where you get hit by thousands of enemies all at once? Because if not, then 2.5%, it only goes up to 2 tiers. At the cost of 30% move speed. I like that there's a trade-off, though. I'm going to do this just because it maxes out instantly. So screw it. It's also very Borderlands, now that I look at it. Which obviously, you know, Borderlands came later. commit the changes. That's 1. And then I'll improve my Inspire Fellows. Nice. Yeah, I remember the thing. We did pick the line before, so we did choose for the debuff CC idea. That was the idea. The Founding Writ. Right, it's disapproving bogs that we want, I think. You're a university student with no real income, so yeah, you just own a lot. Well, I mean, that is still wealth, to be honest. I don't know what the property is like, but anyone who owns property is sitting on capital. There's no way around it, right? And obviously has a huge stress and a huge leg up in life. Like, imagine not having to pay a fucking mortgage. Can you imagine that? Or the first mortgage you pay is a place you're instantly renting out and just literally having the other people feed you money for absolutely no reason. That's the privilege you start with if you start in life with property. For more information on this phenomenon, see the game Monopoly. Bounder. Dora Brownlock. I really want to go to the Bag End. Does anyone... Do we know where Bag End is? It's a goal people can achieve. No, I know. Ever thought of playing The Witcher? It's like an Elder Scrolls playthrough. Cool world, cool gameplay. You're not viewed as a hero. Yeah, I think I would really, really, really enjoy it. But I know nothing about it, and I'm not a fan of it at the moment. So if I'm not a fan of something, I'm not really thinking about making a playthrough for you guys, you know. Do it later, I think. We're going to lose the horse soon. 1 minute. Let's stay sitting on the horse and see what happens at that point. These are some lovely little hobbit holes. And we want to go in there, but I want to see what happens when we dismount the horse. 90 seconds. We can do something with that time. How much do you think it would cost to recreate the Shire fully as it is represented in this video game IRL somewhere? So you buy all the land and you do all the construction. How much do you think it would cost? And I'm talking, you know, you're putting first world amenities in place as well, right? So you're putting plumbing in and electricity and internet access and all that stuff. But the roads have to stay cobblestone roads and, you know, narrow, winding valleys, and you're probably not allowed to drive around there. So deliveries have to be done by Amazon drones instead. You know, how much? 5, and you can locate it anywhere you want in the world. It doesn't have to be, you know, outside of London in the south of England, right? It can be some backwater like Cornwall. You know, I have the right accents over there. I'm sorry. I'm laughing not because I hate Cornwall. I'm laughing because it's a horrible thing to say. But yeah, you could do it. You know, you don't even have to do it in some, you know, European or North American or generally, you know, well-developed country. You could do it anywhere you want. All right, so I've lost the whistle. It looks like I can stay on Surly Dan. But once I get off of Surly Dan, that's it. It's over. Look, it's like the moment we're going into Moria and we're saying goodbye to the pony. Goodbye, Bill. Bill, that was his name, wasn't it? I'll miss you. Well, I don't have a mount anymore. I'm quitting. I looked into that for the size. What? You looked into that? Sorry. Not my ludicrous inane hypothetical from 2 seconds ago. Not that. Surely not. I looked into that. For the size of the land alone would be 20 million in England. Well, no, but the region of England makes a massive difference. Then to get the plans, people, loads, builders, artists, etc., 200 million more. The graphics on Lord of the Rings Online hold up really well. That zone was pretty. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the Shire looks really good at the moment, to be honest. Bill is in the game. Is he really? Cheaper to sell VR goggles with it loaded? It's not the same, really, is it, though? Oh, you had an idea to pitch a Lord of the Rings theme park in Birmingham. You seem like a very interesting person. Are you serious? Did you make the pitch to someone? Because you know what? I've had a load of ideas in my life. I wish I could pitch this to someone. Because, look, you can know that there's money to be made, but not have the capital or the talent to do it yourself, right? So that's where you get to do a pitch, you know? And just get a measly cut of the accolades and profits. A Lord of the Rings theme park would be incredible. I'm actually surprised that they haven't done one in New Zealand. Like a proper kind of... I mean, I'm sure there's Lord of the Rings themed areas. I watch a guy who does a Simpsons channel. I used to watch him when he only got like 1,000 views a video or something. He now gets like 100k a video because they're just so well made. They're like mini essays about the Simpsons. I plugged him like 2 years ago, if you guys remember, on a stream, if anyone does. Anyway, he did one where he was in real life at Universal Florida or something, and there's like a Simpsons theme park there. And they also have a Diagon Alley and Harry Potter one, and he kind of pointed out the differences between the two. I would have assumed that New Line have got something somewhere, don't they? And they could have done... I mean, I guess it depends who owns the rights and all that kind of stuff. No, you're severely inexperienced and you have no idea how to pitch. I have heard, though, the studio who owns Lord of the Rings films is thinking of doing a Lord of the Rings theme park in America somewhere. The Tolkien estate blocks theme parks and such. Interesting. I didn't know that they would block them. Yeah, it's the real gyms. Yeah. I did mention him a while ago, Sinterklaas. In fact, quite recently as well, because you guys all know that I'm a big fan of Ratatouille and Anton Ego. And he was reviewing Pixar movies for a while back there. I don't know if he ever finished, actually. Did he finish? I think when he did his Ratatouille one, I was giving my take on his take. That's what the internet is. My take on your take on his take on her take. You had the idea, looked into it, and sort of ended it there. Well, yeah, ain't that just the thing? I'm desperately trying to stall for time right now so that I can tell you guys what I... Because I had another idea the other day. I was like, this would make money for real. And it was quite a simple idea as well. It's pretty simple. Thanks very much, Discovered Games, for the Twitch Prime sub. I really appreciate that, man. It's just a couple of clicks, but I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. AO says there is in some way using film locations. And since the main attraction is landscape, I think that's a better approach than a huge artificial facility. Yeah, I think you're kind of right, Ails. I was thinking that, like, as we walk along here, you can imagine if this was a theme park, this would not be the nice rustic kind of, almost crumbly, soft, light woods, sun-baked woods with a bit of, like, crumbly, like moss or lichen just on the underside that, breaks away as you run your hand along it, and flexes a little as you squeeze it. It would be a shiny fucking plastic. That's what it would be. It would just be plastic. And it would be like AstroTurf on the roof of all of these. It would be like, artificial earth everywhere and artificial grass, and it would lose its shine. So I wasn't really thinking about a theme park, though. My initial thing, I was thinking, no, make it. Like, I want people to choose, pay fucking a mortgage to live in one of these little places. How much are you going to charge? All plastic in a plastic world? Now, that's an idea. That's the pitch. Anybody listening? Plastic world. Think of it. You can do it cheap. You can do it tacky. You can do it sloppy. And that is the attraction. Yeah? It's like reality TV, but for theme parks. You sell the shitty elements of your product straight back in their face, and they'll buy it. Plastic world. Go for it. I don't know what I'm doing. As always. Town Crier. Let's speak to him and see what this feature is.
Is there something
There's a new merchant in Breetown. An industrious hobbit, Layla. Has grown tired of never being able to just find the item she wants and has decided to open a shop. So is that like a player? What else you got for me? No. Wouldn't get past the environmental nut jobs, protesting everything. Sorry, why is someone a nut job just because they might care about environment regulations? What a stupid thing to say. I'm not a believer that red tape is bad necessarily, even if it gets in the way of my little dream. As long as it's for a justifiable cause. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who I want to speak to. Peony Grub. And I don't have a horsey anymore. Shouldn't I have got a quest to get one? Maybe that'll be later. Plastic world will be made of recycled Funko Pops. Yeah, you can do... here's an even better pitch, all right? Listen, that other guy's pitch, ignore it. Don't worry about that, dude. I got a better one for you, Mr. Businessman. Listen, dragons, all right? I'm going on Dragon's Den with this. Here we go. Dump world, okay? It's just crap everywhere. But you create little roads. You know the opening of Wall-E? Yeah, beautiful. We're just talking about Pixar movies. It's basically that. And you just let people rummage. They've got to sign a little something maybe to get in, you know, make sure they get a tetanus jab, stuff like that. Make sure they can't sue you for, you know, consuming weird things or getting stabbed by leftover stuff. But then off you go, you know. Tell them that they're, you know, looking for relics and trinkets and treasures. Put a couple of geocaches in there, you're away. We call that the Midlands. Oh, dear. Dear, dear, dear. Look, I'm sure we all agree that everywhere in the UK is beautiful and pristine and perfect and in no need of nobody except ourselves. All right? I mean, that's what we voted for. Am I right, guys? Is this, like, the edge of the game? Because it seems that I can go there, but... it's just quite sternly blocked. Is this a race course? This stream's gone completely off the plot. I'm really sorry to everyone who thought we were going to get to the monster thingy. Dump world is a bad idea. We already have Detroit. You guys are so rude. Is there a race course? It feels like this is like some kind of horse race course. Right? Like you jump over those. Styles, I suppose, whatever. That's the house instance area. That's a race course used in festivals. It's really good. I like how bold they are to just not have any enemies around or anything of note to do except just explore and be immersed. Like, they really don't give a shit. They know that you'll be happy anyway. It's very confident. I like it. Oh, okay, no. So it's just an event area. It's not a house area. It's just an event area. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't quite understand the house comment, but you know, I'm not to know, so I won't argue. I kind of want to leave the Shire. What happens if we go down here to South Farthing? To South Farthing, but when I zoom out, it doesn't really show anything. There's the Brandywine. The South Road. I love it. The UI is atrocious though. You can hardly read a lot of this stuff. The South Road. Glanduin River. Rivendell is all the way over here. Sorry, so we're in Eriador, right? How do I know? Like, I can look at Gondor. Can I not look at Rohan? Ravanian's up here. Holy is this Isengard? No way. But hold on, they're calling it Nan Turindia. Curinda? No, this is Isengard. What was that place? What was that other place here? Here you go. This is the Gap of Rohan. It's really tricky to get to, though. Freelands, the Lone Lands, Anarath. I don't even know how I got there again now. I don't mind if this UI is a little bit fiddly to use. Really. It's not a problem. Because it's meant to feel quite immersive. I don't know how to get to Rohan without clicking from Gondor. Oh, how cool is that? Dol Guldur. Edoras. Helm's Deep's down here. Can you go to Helm's Deep in the game? This is an enormous game. You can go to Helm's Deep. No way. Look at how cool that is. Oh, I want to go there. And I can see there's a stable master and stuff. And can you go into the glittering caves at the back? Wow, this is really cool. I'm probably enjoying myself just looking at this for ages, to be honest. Here's the, this is where the fellowship ends, basically, somewhere around here. I like how, you know, there's something beautiful about having like a fantasy franchise that talks a lot about places, but you don't really get to see the map and really like figure it out until later. And obviously this is just this game's interpretation of how everything would slot together. I'm sure there's some tricky things. Argonath. Fangorn. Can you go into Fangorn? Can you see Ents in there? That was something BDO did really well. You could go and see like these giant trees moving around. It was pretty good. Really? Is this the tree where they like drink and grow and stuff? Spiders up in the north? The Eaves of Fangorn. The Entwood. The Entwash. This map is done really well. I like how the style of map feels like it changes each time. Like the map itself was drawn by a different person. You know? I've always liked the idea of in a fantasy game, you collect maps. So, like, when you visit a new region, you have no world map. And you have no mini-map. But you can get one by either mapping things out yourself or buying it as a service from a person. And when you buy it as a service from another person or when you get it yourself or whatever, the art style can change each time, and the kind of, like, points of interest it offers can change each time based on who it was that gave it to you. You know, how well, you know, maybe it's a really terrible scroll, and then later on the game you find a merchant that sells you a better one, and it looks prettier, but also now it shows you some secrets you missed, stuff like that. The Forest Gate. I don't actually really know what this is. Oh, no, this is Lake Town and so on. Oh, so this is more of a Hobbit area. And where is this where Thranduil is? I can't remember his name. And the Lonely Mountain. You can enter the Lonely Mountain. Dude, this is so huge. This is really good. Do the epic quest. It takes you to all the places in the books eventually. That's great. Ask a level 100 hunter to port you there in World Chat. Hunters can port you, can they? Can you ride on the eagles as like a How far can you get on a free-to-play account? Is there any restriction at all? I'm not sure about this area. The dwarf statue, Skald's drop and stuff. Let's have a look at Mordor. So we got Orodruin, Barad-dûr, the actual place with the eye. Can I click it and see? Do they let me? Whoa. The Plateau of Gorgoroth. Barad-dûr, can I mouse over? Can we enter? There's a milestone over here. Ered Lithui. Yeah, they really they could do it. Can you imagine if they properly polished this game up? What are they called? Grinding standing stone games? The endless stare is amazing in here. Is it really? Let's see. How would we get to that? From Gondor. Minas Morgul. Cirith-ungol. Here you go. This is it. The endless stare here. No. This is the Shelob lair. To Cirith-ungol? Oh, is Cirith-ungol the other side? Dude, I'm out of my depths. I don't know. I don't know where I am. Let me find shit, what's it called? Isn't the needless stare in Moria? Sorry, what's the needless stare? I was thinking of the staircase out the front of the place that I'm forgetting its name. Minas Morgul, isn't it? I think it's here, yeah. Because there's Minas Tirith and Minas Morgul, and they like faced one another, and near the front was the hidden stair all the way up. The epic quest where you search for Gandalf after he fought the Balrog. Really, that's super cool. Here you go. Here's the Tower of Cirith-ungol. It's somewhere near here. I don't know. I don't know if it's playable. Man, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I can't just stare at this all day. I did just see something else. What's this, though? Oh, that's the door under the Misty Mountains. Oh, my God. Yeah, the endless stairs to go up to Shelob's lair. Yeah. All right. Woo! And we are here. Let's go to South Farthing and just see where that takes us. That would be this road. Because I can't tell from the map anything I could click here near the Brandywine to actually see if that's playable. It's very clever the way they've done it because, you know, any of the terrain could be visitable, but it's not quite... It doesn't properly unfog in the way that ArenaNet did, so you don't feel bad if too bad if certain bits aren't there. They could easily slip stuff in wherever they like. I think you got to get an RPG's map really, really well done. You've been playing this game for 2 years and only got to level 50, 70-ish. But you've been everywhere, right? It is playable. It's in Moria. Yeah, the next MMO could have all this stuff in it, but, you know, it's going to be reconfigured and set at a very different time. This MMO really is always going to be the definitive kind of experience, I think, as it currently stands. So the door is shut. So this is like the Bandit Brisbane Bridge almost. In that that's not really gameplay back there. So we just found one of the boundaries, one of the places that one day they might expand. Interesting. So you can't go to the South Farthing. How often do they add new territory to this game? I mean, I know it gets updates, but what kind of patches do they get? Does anyone know? Anyone want to fill me in? How substantive is it? Is it like, okay, new regions of it? When was the last new region made available? What on earth is this? There's a milestone. So I can use that to go home. Select a destination to bind. Get destinations with Lord of the Rings online coins. Fucking monetization, man. Ah. Oh. I do get it. I don't think they're right. I don't think they're right, but I get why people think that you need a sub fee because they look at stuff like this and they're like, oh, I don't want it. I think they're being naive, but I get the inkling. Neighborhood Gate. Search for Addernoch, Elbrook, Bramblebury, Buckbank, Buxton, Cloverbeetle. Is this the player home thing? So I'm going to go to the Fairfields. This is someone's house, is it? Housing neighborhoods. You've entered a housing neighborhood. The houses here can be, or already have been, purchased by players or kinships. This neighborhood has vendors offering various wares, including items to decorate a house, as well as a vault keeper. If you own a house in this neighborhood, you will receive a discount from the vendors there. Wow. For sale. 1 Wending Way. Fairfield Shire Homelands. Cost 1 gold, 100 silver, 55 silver rent. I don't even have the money for 1 month's rent. This house offers 32 interior decoration hooks and 5 exterior hooks. Can I just check it out anyway? Oh, wow. And then they're in little instances. Standard house. You could do what you want here. Hey, I'm on board, actually. This would be pretty cool. I'm on board. So we're in some, like, hedged-off community here. It's really good, the way that they've done the maps and stuff. Yeah, your house can be a hobbit hole. I don't know what the other races get. I'm sure you can own, you know, little stone buildings engraved into the walls if you're a dwarf or something. I'm not sure. Live in trees as an elf. I see a lot of potential here. So much potential. It's also for sale. How do I find some place that wasn't for sale? I want to find someone's house. That's what I want to do. Some kids buy houses all in the same neighborhood. Does it roll out new neighborhoods later if they're getting filled up? Gondorian supply holder. Gondorian workbench. A summer welcome mat. Oh, I don't have permission? Why? Do you think anyone lets you visit their houses? There's a dwarf well over here. You can choose. Each race does have housing. They also added premium housing road areas. What does a premium housing area look like? Can I visit one of those? Someone lives here. Let's see, they've got a small feasting table, a mushroom ring. This is, you know, one thing that Wildstar did very well, a sundial. You stingy hobbits! Let me in! This belongs to someone who edited his permissions. Sorry, the whole neighborhood didn't edit their permissions, did they? It's for sale. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. If someone owns that, they've not done much with the place, have they? Jesus. For sale? There isn't a for sale sign. I like the idea of having a fucking minted house, but you don't make it look good on the inside. Oh. Oh. This is a deluxe house. Ooh. I think someone... They do. Somebody owns this deluxe house, but it's got nothing in it except one chest. What are you doing? Oh, what a disappointing house to finally be able to get into. They put this is like a bot's house, I'll tell you that. This is some cold-hearted, efficiently minded robot that's done this. It's like, oh, there's a mechanic that gives you extra experience every day if you have a deluxe house, but you need storage and this is a bot's house for real. Maybe this stuff's all just super cheap as well, so you buy loads of them. He probably didn't pay his upkeep or went into escrow. Well, I need a better house. Come on. Deluxe is good. I want to see someone's house that they decorated. If you guys know a neighborhood I could go to in the Shire on Elven Dale or wherever we are, the server. Evening Star. Sorry, this is for sale. Oh my god, there's so many. So, surely the plots that are further, that's for sale, that are further away from like the entrances are somewhat worse. I wonder if near one of the entrances there's a like a deluxe house. I've been looking at that windmill back there. I kind of want to see if you can live in the windmill, and if the person who lives in the windmill has made it, you know, legal to enter. I think that'd be so cool. I doubt they've done it though, on both counts. Am I going to be playing more after these 5 days, or would it be sick to do some raids or Barrow Downs? Dude, I really don't. Oh, somebody does own it. Hold on. Maybe I'll come back, but it won't be for a while, Grim. It's good to see you, though, dude. Elf hedge sculpture. Beautiful swan statue. This person's got some sweet pea. Very elven. Let me in. Let me in. Why? I just want to be your friend. Come on. Oh, and it's locked as well. Useless. What are you good for? What do you know? Alright, that's it, I think. How do I leave the whole neighborhood quick? Because that gate is ages away. Maybe I'll try the back corner. There's actually... Hold on. Something's marked on the map as though they're big houses over here, and I want to check them out. Like that there. Like these three. It's a big old tree. Mind you, everything feels big. You could just map out. How do I just map out, though? Are these big houses? Houses for big folk? No. Put them on the minimap and everything, and yet they're not even real estate. Map out using your milestone skill. Ah, yes, I remember that. Okay. Dude, there's a guy here. Bando Wending Way. Sorry, has someone hired servants? Sometimes it feels like nothing but weeds grow in the chalky ground of Mickle Delving. Right, yeah, so the milestone skill was... Did I slot it? We never did our fishing either in the end. Skills. Return home. Milestone skill. Right. Oh, I did have it on my bar. I did have it. The odds of me finding that would have been very limited, guys. Yeah, blue background was a good description. Can you use the farmland, or is it just decorative? That's a great question. I'd love to hear that. Oh, I'm like home now. Right, does anyone know where Bag End is? For real, Bag End? Bindo Bowl Wood. You can use farmland in crafting areas. Can I go to the Far Downs? If you're on Gladden or Land Rover, I could let you in my house. Sadly, I'm not. Sadly, I'm not. Just north of the hill. Yeah, we were at the hill before and people started talking about it. And it felt like we were close, but we never got to see it. So, like, near Overhill or near the wood, sorry. I'll try to go back to the hill. I think I can maybe get there. We'll see. The Prologue Quest takes you there? Like, quick. Let me remove that one as a focus. So this is the only one that is a quest guide focus. So let's try and do the Prologue Quest, and then maybe we can get to Bag End. Damn it, it has not been efficient to explore and do touristy things. I should have been grinding relentlessly the whole time. If I had been, what level do you think I would have got to, guys? If I'd gone into this like with a little bit of research, like, okay, here's this leveling area, and now here's this leveling area, and now here's this leveling by this gear. If I had done that, what do you think I would be right now? Do you think I'd be in dungeons saying, oh, these dungeons, where is everyone? If they even have them. By the way, I really like the terrain here. This is cool. Maybe I should cross... No, there's nowhere to travel over there. I do like this terrain because it's kind of like looping me around. Sorry, this is near where Little Delving supposedly is, but I guess Little Delving doesn't exist. Full questing, level 25 to level 30. What features would that have meant I would have seen over this time? What do you guys think? How now, brown cow? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna rough it. Snarling wolf in the woods. Instantly hits the... I mean, it's level 7. It's not bad. Damn, I think we lost our last traveling companion there, by the way. Going to check the neighborhood. I think we're on our own now. It's a new deed, Wolf Slayer. Is Dark still there in chat? We have lost our mummy. You can have a hunter in your fellowship. Maybe they can bind you the fireplace at the party tree. Oh, it's okay. I'm happy to explore. I like traveling around. It's fun. Otherwise, we wouldn't get to experience cool stuff like this. Look, there's even a nice little quest here from Walled Sanson. Oh, who's going to give us a prized pie? Hey, is it possible to be rewarded for doing every quest in the game? Is it possible? Literally, the rest of us are playing Through the Fire and the Flames in Mickle Delving as a band. I like that. I like that. It goes to show that it's not just because it's on the stream. It's because of a pure, unfettered love of Dragon Force. You can play as a chicken. What if I do the monster thing? Oh, I really want to do the monster thing. I really do. Oh. But we're not going to get to level 10 in time. Unless they just gave me experience for logging in. They usually give me stuff for just logging in. Basic supplies. Minor potion of power. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. When you do quests, you unlock deeds. And deeds can be turned into points. So there is a reason to quest if you're stingy kind of thing. There are quests at the Sanson farm in the Shire for playing a chicken. I like this. We're getting some people in chat who really know what they're talking about. Is Tom Bombadil? Yeah, what wood was Tom Bombadil in? Is he relevant in the thingy? I feel like it'd be over near Breland. The old forest. It's here, isn't it? It's at Buckland. It's this. This is the forest that they find Tom Bombadil. I'm sure it is. And maybe they find... don't they find some elves there in Lord of the Rings? In one of the other... I can't remember. Isn't that where they suggest one of the Ent Fathers maybe is as well? Wasn't that a thing? Right, the hill is still just slightly to the north. Oh, it's part of the discovery deed. You usually shit all over those over-the-top, sweet-picked, scale-grinding songs, but that one actually has some soul. I don't know whether it has soul. To me, it's a weird song in that when I was a teenager, people spoke of it with like a certain reverence that I don't think it ever should have had. But I do respect it as, you know, it's about having fun to me. It's like being deliberately over fun and just over the top and just having fun and embracing just being ridiculous, ridiculously over the top. and just like engaging with that kind of music in that way, and being fearless about just doing that. And there's something quite sweet and cool about that. But if you start talking about it in like really serious, deep like ways, I think it can feel a bit tacky and a bit strange. The puppy cam. Yeah, thanks very much, King Nerdlord. I love your name, King Nerdlord. That's a fantastic Twitch name. I kind of want to steal that. That's great. Yeah, it's good to see you, dude. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I keep pressing 5, but it's my stance. Just got to get used to like what it means to be in a stance. It's interesting because Guild Wars 1 had stances too, but they were very much they weren't toggle abilities. There wasn't such a thing as a toggle ability except like a bonded enchantment, which had its own area of the UI for it and felt weird for that reason. You know, so much of Guild Wars 1 was cleanly unified, like sorted, and bonded enchantments were like the weirdest type of skill, to be honest, in that they got their own area of the UI that a lot of classes would just never see. That was kind of specific, you know. Right, so that's the hill. So I'm guessing that's Bag End at the very top of the hill all the way over there. I'm killing these things in the hope I'd get XP, but really it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Oh, I don't need to be in melee range for the minstrel. Really? Oh, you're right. Interesting. The ballads will hit them anyway. I didn't even realize that. Thank you. They want me to be in melee range? What do you mean? The devs? The mobs? The people? The universe? Look at this casual backtracking. The term is backpedaling. And hell yeah, I was backpedaling. I backtrack when I make a stupid comment or make an argument with no weight and someone calls me out on it. That's a backtrack. The wolves want me in melee. Yeah. Okay, we're back at the apple doors. We were really close to this before then. This is where Bilbo's birthday took place. I wonder if the NPCs here talk about it having just happened. Talk about the fireworks and so on. So we're going to climb the hill even further. The first time you reached Minas Tirith, running around on the Pelennor fields was a guy in a chicken play. They had to find a long time to get escorted that far. Sorry, you're telling me you could become a chicken in the Shire, and then they had been escorted safely from there all the way out to the Pelennor fields? That's hilarious. That's really cool. Why is their subreddit so dead? I don't get it. Am I just wrong? Was there... By the way, guys, you can't even hear the game that loudly. There you go. Look, we're not going to be fighting. So, I don't get it. Where are the communities for Lord of the Rings online? Because it doesn't seem to me that the places I would think to look have them. Right, so here she is.
Can't a body be left alone?
I heard about the troubles my nephew Mundo went through in Breland. I assume you're here with old Flower Dumpling's coin purse to repay us for Mundo's hardship. You're not? What is this nonsense? Whitfoot doesn't have an ounce of sense in that fat head of his. Doesn't surprise me that he didn't have the courage to come tell me this himself, but he'll regret it. I'll go to Mickledelving to see him personally and to tell him in no uncertain terms what I think of him. What use is he as mayor anyway? And what use are the bounders for that matter? My nephew has gone through so much and he was barely outside the bounds.
Don't you turn your back on me?
Wow. Why do you even need a mayor or bounders or sheriffs? If they can't keep my nephew from being threatened and abducted and put through all kinds of hardship. The Sackville Baggins is a very important family in these parts. I've heard that there are goblins on the edges of the Shire. Goblins! If you ask me, you should stop running pointless errands for our fat mayor and should do something about them. I've heard that Wilcom Tunnelly, the quarry supervisor in Scary, has seen goblins in the Greenfields. Talk to him and get to the bottom of this, Tatu. Goblins! We get a gift Matham, which gives us reward with them. She'll give us more side quests as well. Libella's fireworks. You there? Yes, I mean you. Come over here. I've worked with you. I simply must have fireworks for my birthday party. More and brighter than that mad Bilbo ever had. I heard that Hyacinth Took over in Tuckborough has learned to make them, no doubt from that queer Gandalf fellow. You go over there and tell her I want a dozen large crates of her best fireworks. She lives west of the Great Smiles. Of course, I'll pay you if you insist. What a nuisance. I thought Bounders, or whatever you are, were supposed to do for us Shire folk work out of duty. These are horrible. Truly horrible. Okay, so our thing says we are at Bag End. So, and I mean, they are Baggins. Can I enter Bilbo's place then? Is this it? Do they literally have it? Is this the... I'm too busy to do it right now. That's their house. But that is it... This is it, isn't it? This is totally it. This, but basically, what they've moved in when Bilbo and Frodo were gone. They've stolen inside. Is that the idea? It's a very, very extraordinary looking garden. They didn't take long to sneak on in. I mean, that was kind of a thing that they talked about. And I'm not allowed in until later, I guess. It says you should be able to enter. Oh no, there we go. I can enter. Oh, here we are. I'm so tired, says Dusty. Well, don't worry. Soon enough, the stream will be over. You'll be able to go to sleep. Actually, no, the stream's going to be over, and then you have to go to my YouTube channel and watch the YouTube video. And then it'll be bedtime. Frodo sold it when he went away. I didn't remember that. Does he buy it back then when he returns? Dude, the music is so lovely. I could just sit here wandering around. Oh, look. You can't get that out the back. It's a huge fucking... Look at the mini-map. My God. Suggestive of an enormous place. Didn't realise they were so wealthy. That's incredible. And we get a quest to defeat goblins, I think. Well, no, we're not fighting the goblins yet, are we? We're going back to Tuckborough, I think. Maybe. The Founding Writ. There we go. So we're off in this direction. You think it's returned to him when he returns after he liberates the Shire? I mean, I think it is, right? During Halloween, the Bag End basement is made into a haunted house. No way! Really? Dude, this is so good. They've got a lot of things going on. But what does that mean? Is that as cool as it sounds in my head? Or is it a bit more simplistic than that? Jesus, can we fight wood bears? Level 10? I'm level 9. How do you like it? Is it worth trying out? If you have a high tolerance for iffy MMO user interface work and stuff like that, I think you can have a lot of fun. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I genuinely think that you should try it, yeah. I would recommend this to only very casual gamers, as long as they're Lord of the Rings fans, I think. Yeah, that was quite tricky, I have to say. So what are other people doing? They're healing with potions, are they? So every time I cast this, I'm getting like another buff, right? See these stacking up? And then the final one, like, expends them all or whatever. Must be the same for the damage. It's tricky when I'm not with people carrying me, I'll tell you that much. I can't remember the name of the server. It begins with E. I'm really sorry. How cool is that though? Would it go stale quickly? Sorry, what, the haunted house thing? I mean, yeah, it depends how they do it. It depends how they do it. But yeah, I mean, anything that you've done before that is a matter of exploration is obviously vastly diminished on repeat. I mean, that's just the way it goes. As much as I like exploring in games and as much as I like lore and story and stuff, to be honest, unless you've made a really robust RPG that will like change and branch the story, okay, those elements of the game will only ever get you so far. Because if you're looking for like a lifestyle kind of experience, something people play for like years or whatever, you can't rely just on them because they are one and done. You know, your first map comp in Guild Wars is the only one that's really that fun. You know? The rest has to be gameplay. The way you make the rest of it exciting and interesting again, it's got to be through like decent, robust mechanics. And then you're not playing for the story and, you know, the flavor text and stuff anymore. You're skipping the cutscenes, but you're still having a blast because you've fallen in love with the mechanics that are divergent, and dynamic, and unpredictable. So, I mean, I don't actually necessarily believe in making a game that is all about the exploration and all about the story if you want it to be an MMO, because I don't think it will go that far. Even though I love those elements, because you can only love them once. As much the first time anyway as you say. You wonder who that could be? Yeah, I love how many people have been talking to me about E again. I mean, we just did the episode with the Vision, you know, the what do you call it? The, you know, in Omad's machine, and it's really galvanized people and got them talking. It's very cool. If you didn't catch yesterday's Live and World episode, you really should. Oh look, it is. It's a goblin. We get different music based on the type of enemy we're fighting. Oh, I don't seem to be able to move here. This is immediately way more entertaining than it was for anything else. Another gameplay I play, because it's an actual game. It's taking damage and stuff. Cool. I killed a goblin. Where am I going though? I mean, Jesus, it's so far away. It says scary. What does that mean, scary? It's 400 meters away. Yeah, Evernight, that's it. Sorry, oh, that's why you guys were talking about E. It's because of the Evernight. Yeah, Evernight. I'm sure that's what I meant. What does that cross sword mean? Open tapping monster control. Pretty scary. If I ever aggro, I think I'm dead. Gotta be careful. It's very hard to swap stance as well. Is that because I can't do it in combat maybe? Well, it's nice that we found a dangerous area of the Shire, I'll tell you that much. He's a level 130 bounder. Oh my god. Am I in some kind of end game location here? He's just there probably to kill any monster players, maybe? Is that the idea? Monster players? Scary as a mine or town. No, you're good. All right, okay. Oh, that was pretty nice, cresting that hill. It's well detailed as well, the areas. Someone typed WP and I thought they were talking about me. How narcissistic. I don't know what WP is in this game. Pressure Underhill. Scary. Now, a golden one is one that I'm trying
What do you
to
need?
Right? Lobelia Sackville Baggins has heard tell of goblins out in these parts. Well, there have been a few sightings, it's true. My sister is convinced that she saw... Well, it's embarrassing. I suppose I can trust you, though.
Might I have a word with you?
My sister Pansy is a good sort, but she can be rather excitable. When she gets an idea in her head, it stays there, no matter how silly it might be. And before you know it, she's convinced half the Shire that it's true. She saw something out on the green fields the other day, and she thinks, well, maybe you better talk to her about it. Folks have seen Goblin on the edges of the Shire, but this... Try and talk some sense into her for me, will you? You'll find her wandering around the town square here in Scary. Really, that's the name of the town? Staring the folk. Staring the folks, I shouldn't have worried though. Alright. Can I go into the mine? I'd love to go into a mine. Enjoyed doing that. This is so much better than WoW, by the way. Jesus. How many years later than WoW did this come out? What year did this come out? Because I've been talking a lot about it, and to be honest with you, I should have a better idea of exactly when it came out. Not a proud fit there. So many proud feet. It's 2007. WP is Warg Pens, instance used for power leveling. Oh, I see. Yeah, 2007. It's not too much later, to be honest.
What do you need?
Well, hello there. There's something terrible happening in the Shire, and you need to do something about it before it's too late. I was walking on the green fields, looking for flowers, when I saw a squat little man off in the distance. He was carrying a spear, and believe me when I tell you that he was a goblin. All of a sudden, he dropped to the ground, and it looked to me like he was reaching into a hole of some kind. A rabbit hole, most likely. I was so scared, I ran back here and told my brother what I saw, but I don't think he believed me. The green fields are out northwest of here. Maybe you ought to go take a look at these rabbit holes yourself. Don't know what it was looking for, but it can't be good for the Shire. Right, there is a lot of zigzagging around, I'll tell you that much. I was expecting a kill 4 Goblins quest, I have to be honest. Right. Off we go. You came out the year you got married. And how's your marriage doing now? Let's hear. Let's all share stories. So hold on, that would be 13 years ago. That's interesting, you know. My never mind. I won't go too personal. Yeah, I'm glad you took that in good humour. Oh, well, I should have walked this way. Look, it's much cleaner and nicer here. That's pretty cool, though. I guess a marriage is a moment in people's lives where they remember, like, everything that happened around it. Ash branches, I'm guessing I can gather if I'm... There was someone hiding back there. Harlos. Hello. Looks like he's been killing goblins. Whoa! Are you serious? Are these players? 165,000 health. Level 130. Dude. Who was the other guy on the horse? He's gone already. Why are they here? Talking to this random guy out here. This is cool. I'm in a real. This is a real MMO moment. Oh, he was in a tonic. I was gonna say it. Kind of. Oh, I see. So you can basically transform your appearance to be whatever you want. You look like the Witch King. You used to play with this guy, Big Red Tom. Big Red Tom says he used to play with Chromite. I don't know whether he's a stream viewer or something. I'm not sure. He's charging something up again there. Look at this. Look at how crazy his nameplate is and everything. Can you like customize the nameplate? Dude, look, he's got a nuts horse. Is he off? I want to get on the horse with you. Take me. Adopt. Unable to create relationship, generations incompatible. Oh, he was in stream chat. Oh, was he? Oh, I see. Dude, that was a bizarre moment. I can't believe they managed to find me here. I feel bad because I'm not going to be streaming for much longer, like really. So running all the way over here to see me and play with me is a real waste of time. I'm very sorry about that because we're going to be stopping soon. But that was really cool. It's nice to see what a high level player looks like. Yeah, there are cosmetic frames. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Good little cosmetic to go for. Yeah, for sure. If he is a ranger, he can teleport you to other places. I don't know what race he is, class he is. It looks like he's a strategist, maybe? I need to heal up a little more. I should just stay in this stance, to be honest. So I don't really use mana either. I mean, the monsters don't really care about it as a mechanic so far, it feels like. So I found a pointy rock in the rabbit hole. And I can take it back to Pansy. Alright, off we go. Oh. My god, I keep hitting the wrong auto run. The last thing you want to do when you want to auto run is walk. And that's what I've been hitting almost every time. Isn't this game pay to win now? I don't know. Look, I'm sure veterans are at a point where there's not much going on. And the main exciting, interesting stuff is locked behind huge amounts of cash. And they'll call it pay to win. But at the same time, if you're using the term pay to win, to like it's kind of a meaningless categorization, isn't it? Pay to what do you mean? Like, if I log into this game, am I logging in to win the game? Not really. I'm probably playing this as a free-to-play person or whatever to experience the world and just have fun with the quests and take it at a smooth pace. Like, what am I winning? You know, like, I guess it comes down to your motivation to play the game. If your motivation is to be better than everyone else because you raid better or you PvP better or whatever, sure, maybe it's pay to win. I don't know. I'm not at that point. I would say that you're probably going to get like 100 hours at least of good content before that matters. That's how it feels to me after 5 days.
Please, stay a moment.
Or in another term, that's how it feels to me after 10 hours. A little bit longer than that, but still. The workers in the quarry broke through into a hidden chamber and released a swarm of spiders. I've never seen such monstrous creatures, and the beasts have taken over the whole quarry. I'm worried that the spiders might come out of the quarry and start spinning their webs in Scary itself. If there's anything you can do to remove the spiders from the quarry, it would be a great help. I don't want my home to become a spider's web. How would I get to the market? He put a banner down. I wonder what that means. Alright, so we'll go to the place. Sorry, I'm an idiot. That's not the right quest. I read all of that thinking this isn't following on. There she is.
Hello?
You found this in the rabbit hole in the green fields? This is a goblin tooth. This confirms my suspicions, Tay2. If I was a goblin... sorry, it was a goblin the other day. And not just any goblin, but old... Golfin Bull himself. You haven't put it together yet, Bounder? A long, long time ago, the Goblin King, Gomfil Bull, tried to invade the Shire, but he was defeated by Bandaburus Took, the mighty Bull Roarer. In one swing, Bull Roarer knocked off the Golem Bull's head, and it went flying through the air and landed in a rabbit hole. Golfin Bull is back, and he's searching all the rabbit holes on the green fields for his missing head. This is terrible. You'd best bring this goblin tooth to Bounder Primstone at the watch office in Brockenborings, to the west of Scary. Hurry, Tay2. Alright, she is crazy. If he hasn't got a head, how's he doing that? There's nothing to win in Lord of the Rings Online. There is a streamer that has not paid a penny for the game. As in level 130 and they did that. Level 125 is a very solid free-to-play experience. I suggest getting that far. It lets you explore all of Breland. 2,495 Lord of the Rings points per expansion. You can farm 120 points in 40 to 50 minutes. So there is that. Right, so, sorry, you're telling me that a free-to-play character... I hadn't even thought about... So this game has expansions, right? Big, bulk content editions. And tell me, do I have those as a free-to-play player right now? Chat, do I have the expansions? Or are you telling me I need to pay for them on top with Lord of the Rings points, which I can either do with money or I can do with in-game gameplay? But the in-game gameplay sounds like it takes ages. Let's be clear. Man, that was a nice little bird sound effect. Okay, so, no, you have to buy them. You can buy them with Lord of the Rings points of real-life money. Okay, good. So now, chat, tell me what are the expansions and give me a one-sentence review of each of them. How many there are, and not a one-sentence review necessarily, but a one-sentence summary of them. You can give me a score out of 10 on your rating of each one. As it would be experienced in 2020 by a noob. Mines of Moria is the best. Stop there. So are they all like linear? They all just continue the story along, right? Like in one long path? Is that the idea? Dude, did that He did! That's so cool! Oh, no, that wasn't a special animation. That was just an accent. That's still cool, though. There's a guy riding a goat. I think we're talking Guild Wars 2 style expansions. Or just general MMO expansions, to be honest with you. You have only Eledwin, Dwarf and Elf starting area, Shire, Breland, and Lone Lands. So none of the other stuff is available for me to explore. Oh, also, tell me when the last expansion was. Nobody's really doing this yet, by the way, so you guys can totally go for it. So we've got to find the Greenfield Biters in the field down there. Or up there, I guess. Let's climb up. So there's the Mines of Moria, the Siege of Mirkwood, the Rise of Isengard, the Riders of Rohan, Helm's Deep, Mordor, and Minas Morgul. So hold on, if someone told me to get just up to Helm's Deep, that's pretty far in. That's only saying that Mordor and Minas Morgul are not worth playing. Minas Morgul was released in November. Dude, November! How big are these things? How good are the expansions? I have to have been on the wrong subreddit before. I have to have been. If there was a fucking expansion just a couple of months ago, there's no way that this game is, like, dead or whatever. There's no way. There's no way. Generally, they're quite big. Well, substantiate that. What do you mean by they're quite big? In what terms? As opposed to what? What does that mean? Hours played? Distance traveled? Number of quests? Features implemented? What does generally big mean? Hi guys, today I'm going to review Heartthorns. I would say it's generally big. See you next time. I'm being a jerk, obviously. They're releasing a new raid. Moria was what, 6 or 8 maps full? Large regions of land plus hundreds of quests. So yeah, they sound like full-on expansions to me. Well, my eyes have been opened. I hope to not have been in that category as a person who would buy into the general MMO miserliness, you know, about how MMOs don't have much going on. It sounds like this MMO has a ton going on. And I'm not sure why. So any Lord of the Rings Online players, okay? People always talk about, like, the big 5 MMOs of the West, right? They'll say FF14, they'll say ESO, they'll say RuneScape, they'll say WoW, and they'll probably say Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 might be slipping out of that a little bit, right? That's like the top 5 MMOs. Why do you think no one talks about this MMO? Really? Like, because they don't, to be honest. What do you think is up with that? Anyone got any thoughts? Like, I could not go online and say, yeah, this is a top 3 MMO. Do you know what I mean? Or a top 5 MMO. It would laugh you out of the room. But if it's getting new raids and it's having expansions and it has people playing it and Lord of the Rings Online has an older player base. Legit, most people are in their 40s and don't use Reddit. That's the main reason. You think it's just a Reddit thing? So what, have they got thriving forums? Do they have thriving Discord communities? Do they have thriving official community bases? Do they have big conventions that they go to? What do they have for a community? I don't get it. Or are they're all 40 and they're all in the game? You know, it's like how only, what was it, 0.3% of my audience are in the 13 to 17 range. Only 0.3%. Is it that only 0.3% of the Lord of the Rings Online players are below 28? Is that what it is? So they're none of it, and if you're over 28, you don't know how to use Reddit, or you don't seek out subreddits. Yes to all of those except conventions. It's interesting. I feel like MMO devs always want to convince their communities of that. No. We're really big, I promise. It's just we all like to be in game. Don't worry about the Reddit. It's just you want to be in game. Don't worry about it. I feel like that's a big thing. But, you know, I also feel like large communities will manifest elsewhere on the internet, surely. You know, how secular do you really believe your user base is, and why? And I get the idea that the why might be because kinships are so well made in this and stuff. Well, unfortunately, guys, we kind of are out of time. And I know that kind of sucks, because to be honest, I feel like there's a lot more to get into on this. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I get any content out of this. But tomorrow I'll be back to Guild Wars 2 for Master. It's been a really fun little experiment. This year I do want to try different things like this. So, I'll tell you what, guys. If any of you have got like real thoughts, if you've stuck it out and watched these Lord of the Rings streams, on me in other games like this, but not just like, oh, I wish you'd do it, but if you've got real thoughts about like what was good, what was bad, like real considerations about other things to do for the future or whatever, I am open to influence at the moment. But my next plan for the next probably, 9 days at least, it will be this weekend back on Master, and then we'll do a week of Master after that probably. We'll be looking at Guild Wars and the new updates for Guild Wars and all that kind of stuff. And this is totally on the list to stay back. I'll keep it installed up here. There's no reason I need to uninstall it. And we'll just see. Again, I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who stuck it out here and watched this with me. It's been really cool. I really do consider anyone who watched all of these to be very, very real, very serious and genuine fans. And I appreciate that, guys. So, yeah, that's it. I'll leave it there. Also, to everyone in the Lord of the Rings Online community who came along and said hi and had a bit of a chat, that's been really, really fun as well. And it's been great to meet you all, and I appreciate learning everything that you've taught me. There is a new YouTube video up. I believe it's another episode of The Elder Scrolls today. So it just went up 2 seconds ago. If you head over to the video, you can probably snag first comment or whatever. Hope you guys enjoy that stuff, and I'm going to get back to work on what I want to do so I can actually make some videos and stop panicking. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thanks to those who played with me as well. Yeah, like Darg there talking about muting player instruments. And yeah, it's been cool, guys. Thank you all. See you next time.